The World Cup is a success for the U.S. if
they get out of the group stage.
Think so? That's as far as they have to go for success, or that's what you think is a barrier of success for this group? What is going on, everybody? I'm Heath, and welcome back to a new episode of Supporter Section. The World Cup is right around the corner. The energy is palpable. The stadiums hopefully will be sold out everywhere that we go. There'll be an atmosphere in and around all the cities. I cannot wait. But first, let me get into some introductions. We got Duda over here.
Woo!
One of our co-hosts on the show, but also a presenter around the world, covering a lot of ground, Duda. And then we've got a lot of ground. And then we've got Adi, who is a soccer content creator and very, very funny comedian. You do a lot of
comedian. I don't know about that.
Okay,
word.
For comedians, they won't say comedian, but like a lot of comedy-based sketches.
Yes.
And we've got a really fun show for all of you. We're gonna do a hot or cold thing today, where we're gonna hold up some signs and talk about what's hot and potentially what's not. We've got an interview with Jermaine Jones, very interesting guy with a crazy background and what he's doing now. And then we've got a stoppage time punishment. I said it on the end of the show, the last show. I'm regretting it now, but we're gonna get into that as well. Where hopefully, I don't know why you guys are both smiling like that. Why are you guys smiling? Like I don't know what I've got to do, but I've got some sort of punishment, and now I'm sweating because I'm worried about that. So I'm not gonna be able to focus on the rest of the show. But let's get into it. All right, so let's get into this. The U.S. plays against Senegal, right?
Yes.
We get the 3-2 win. I say we, collectively.
Yeah.
We get the win.
We're
We
all
all
part of it.
contributed to part of that, which is going to be a big
100%.
part of our role going through the World Cup this summer is contributing as fans and holding them to the highest standards so they go on a deep run. A lot of things happen in that game, but I'll start with you, Adi, because you are sort of like the positive parrot on my shoulder of just like, what the U.S. is going to do. What did you see from that game in terms of overall energy?
Yeah. Wow. Positive parrot.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Like
that.
very vibes based,
Yeah,
I like
BP.
that. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, no, the energy was good. I feel like we came out strong. Of course, Pulisic scoring.
He looked on it, by the way.
Yeah.
He looked on a man on a mission, which is maybe good that the club situation hasn't been great because he's got something to prove again.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And obviously with all the pressure, everyone's like, yeah, it's good to see. And you could see when he scored, like how he celebrated, like how much it meant to him and how important it was. So for me, that was just like a huge positive. And then I would like to highlight did you guys see like what the team was wearing when they showed up to the game?
Oh,
did you see their outfits?
Oh yeah.
We were looking fresh.
I asked.
Virtual.
I've DM'd a couple players already, or commented being like, "Let me hold that shirt. Let me get that. I'm gonna get one."
Yeah, and then you have to.
Yeah, and then you're
That's
gonna
it.
get one by just it growing legs and walking off from me.
Yes. Yeah, it was a Virgil Abloh collaboration, and it's really important. If you look good, you feel good, play good. So
that.
it was good.
Dude,
Yeah.
let me ask you this about it, because he mentioned the Pulisic goal.
Yeah.
The celebration felt very real, very different, like almost like the World Cup is here. There's this intensity and this belief that felt like, all the games and the jokes are aside. Did you feel that from the U.S. team overall as a collective?
I really did. And I do agree with the celebration that you mentioned from Pulisic. It was just like a moment with him in the corner, just running, not looking for anyone, just celebrating and then going back to the boys. But truly, I feel like the crowd in Charlotte, they brought the noise and the energy, the honesty. I actually loved the game.
Yeah.
I actually loved the game. They played well, in my opinion, in the first half. I think they controlled Senegal in the first half. Second half, Senegal started liking the game more. They put U.S. under pressure many more times. In the second half, literally, I think Senegal really challenged the U.S. many times. However, some things that obviously we all know, and they also know this, any professional athlete knows this, sometimes every single, the mistakes that they're gonna make it happen, the mistakes that you make, unfortunately, especially in the World Cup, you cannot be doing that kind of mistakes, right? In defense, with the goalkeeping, things like that. And yeah, sure, you're playing against Senegal. I think Germany is going to be a better team than Senegal. But you just got to be better.
Yeah.
Like in little moments, you know, like it's good that these things happened against Senegal and could also happen against Germany. But once the World Cup starts, it's like you got to be on. Like one mistake and you're out of the World Cup.
Yeah, I think the hard part is also like you get 90 minutes and you've got 26 players. So you got to work in players, you're, managing minutes, guys off of long seasons that I would have liked to see that first group play a little bit longer, kind of see how they could manage the challenges, that goal before the half. How does that change the dynamic?
Yeah.
But overall, the only things I'm worried about, because, is transition game. Like you said, in the World Cup, you get, you're going to play against quality where you get punished for that type of thing. So that organizational structure, I think, is really, really important for this group. But overall, I like the energy, the intensity. There's a belief. It seems like something happened where this group came together, and it could be the moment. It could be the group. It could be in support of Pochettino. It could be against Pochettino. Whatever that is, this group felt like they came together, at least in that first half. Once you make 10 substitutions, then
you change
the rhythm's
game,
gone
right?
and all of that sort of stuff. And so I'm trying to not look too much into that and see that more as like an opportunity to get guys minutes in the lead up. But I definitely think the Germany match is going to be more of a test for this team.
For sure.
One of the things though is the laptop kind of during the break, which was a crazy thing to me that, you see often on the benches. One of the assistant coaches sometimes has that sort of digital screen at the club level. But apparently this is going to be part of or allowed during the World Cup. Was that surprising for you to see?
It's
You
definitely.
think they were playing like Mike Tyson's Punch Out or something on that?
I don't even think they were watching any game footage. They were just, just playing like Minesweeper or something. I mean, it's definitely, it's one of those things with the game that like things are changing and you see it and you're like, oh, like that's not a part of our game. But I kind of don't care. I don't think. Like,
I do like that. As normally I don't care take, but that's actually a great take, which is like, who cares?
I'm just like, both teams might do it. Like I don't know. I don't think I care that much.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of people that just they don't like changing the game because it's just not how the free flowing of the game was, and that's what so much of it is built on. But I kind of was thinking about it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't think I care that
Do you
much.
care?
I'm a little bit confused.
Okay.
No, I also
I mean,
don't
it's
care.
pretty straightforward. It's just
I know, but here's
It's
the
a
thing.
It's a
But
laptop.
It is a laptop.
And they get to look at it.
But here's the
Like,
thing: is there a difference between a laptop and a tablet, for
Yeah.
example? Because to me, it's the same thing
Yeah,
in a way. And sure, they're saying
bigger
now
screen.
it's just a crazier visual.
It's
It's like a
crazier.
full on.
There's a keyboard there.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: no, I also don't care if you have the 3-minute break. Use it, do it, whatever you want. If you want to the dance Macarena, do it. If you want to have a laptop, go for it. But in my
Steve
opinion,
Jobs is rolling right now because
I know.
is there a difference between a laptop and a tablet?
Yeah,
And a
yeah.
tablet.
Do you
That's
know
where the
what I went
conversation
through
is gone.
to get that
Yeah.
difference?
Oh, okay.
so now,
Yeah.
just so everyone know, now you said that it's official that you can have a laptop or a notebook during hydration break. However, I don't think I'm crazy, but I have seen during like hydration breaks, assistant coach bringing in like, the iPad or whatever, a tablet.
Yeah.
It isn't showing to some of the players.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't see the
I
difference.
think it's literally because it's a laptop and it's another thing. We just haven't really seen that it became something, but it's the same thing. Like
Yeah,
I think
guys are
I think-
saying.
so it's
I
like
think
they
we've
have
s-
done this already in the past. So
Yeah,
like,
I
why
think we've
is
seen
a
it
new
at a club
thing?
level. I think we've
You've
seen
seen
it
a
at a club
laptop?
level. No, but you see
Oh.
like the little digital screens at the benches.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
think
yeah.
at the international level, there's a different level, and you forever, right? You see it in all the sports. You have somebody up at a high level, or
Right.
they have a high kind of wide cam where they can see the tactical cam, and they're able to kind of communicate down below. I just think that this is bringing a real time ability or analysis to the game that allows you to basically show somebody visual instructions, right? We've seen forever, like write a little note and hand it to the
boards,
person on the
yeah,
far
yeah,
side.
yeah.
But when you're taking a break, you're getting an actual like NBA type of timeout where you can
Yeah.
draw something up, you can show things, you can show where the gaps are, you can show something in real time and visual. And I think as an advantage, this is a massive opportunity just
Yeah.
because you can visualize for somebody.
For sure.
If I'm in the heat of the moment and some coach is yelling at me being like, you need to stay more inside or like play off of his shoulder, I'm like, I thought I was doing that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But when you can actually show gaps in the game or flaws or where areas that you can exploit, I do think there's a benefit to that. Although I don't think it's something new that hasn't already been happening. on some
Yeah,
level.
so that's what I'm confused. Like this was already happening.
just
So why is
optics.
it? Yeah.
Optics. It
Anyway.
just was so I think it was just so in your face with
Yeah.
Pochettino with it.
For
but
sure.
It's just like gathering around the
Yeah,
laptop.
yeah.
you know,
I think it
being
was like that
you know,
visual was
yeah.
just so like, yeah. So tell me again about your setup.
All right, I've got it all planned out. For the first time ever, there's going to be 4 matches a day for the group stages.
Let me guess, you can't miss a match, right?
Of course not. You think I'm going to miss a chance to see Messi play? I've got the ultimate game watch experience for my backyard.
All right, I'm intrigued. A little scared too, but go on.
Well, it all starts with the grill. I've already got 3 propane tanks lined up because...
You have to eat all your meals outside. I'm following.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got comfy outdoor furniture with a bunch of coolers.
Wow, sounds like you got it all covered.
Oh, I've got it all covered, Eddie.
And if you're all in on this summer's tournament like my guy Heath is here, you're gonna wanna be a My Lowe's Rewards member.
The tournament is nearly here, so now's your time to get in, Adi.
And members get more at Lowe's, so sign up for free today. Visit lowes.com/moremessy.
Oh, dude, I got to show you my canopy.
Oh.
Rain or shine, buddy. Rain or shine.
Oh, you did say you had it all covered.
All right, we did get the win against Senegal, 3-2. Electric game, in my opinion. Very positive in a way. But do you guys think that since we won that game, we're all talking about the game now, did we kind of forget about the roster drama and all the Pochettino possibly rumors of going to a club in Italy?
Oh, I didn't forget.
Kidding?
I didn't forget. No. I
Okay.
mean, for me, it's a few things, right? Matt Crocker leaving, I think, was a big deal.
Mhm.
But the timing of it, what work was he going to do in the interim that was going to really make a difference? And I'm sure for him, it's a good chance to start in a new cycle. And if you don't want to be here, we don't want you here. I think it's a very simple kind of closure of that, although it does kind of hit the news cycle and it feels like there's a lot of drama. For Pochettino, I also think that there's not a single player in this national team pool, let alone in this national team of 26, that believed he was going to like bleed red, white, and blue, right? That's not, you didn't bring him in to then convert him to being like the American mindset mentality of like, he's going to stay forever. And so I think this was always going to be a stop for him. Whether he goes another year, whether he goes to AC Milan after the World Cup, this was always going to be a part of a project and a continuation from Greg Berhalter into this that then somebody's going to have to carry into the future. And so I think even that in itself isn't that big of a drama or a distraction for the players. And I think if anything, it gives the players more things to. And I've asked a few players. They're like, well, honestly, we haven't really talked about it. No one's really saying
was
anything
AC
about it.
Milan
It's
thing.
like, yeah, the AC Milan thing. Because again, I don't think anybody believed that like, okay, let's get to this World Cup, and then after that, like, let's lock him into another 6-year deal. His deal was done at the end of this World Cup, or maybe it's the end of this year. I'm not sure what the actual contract cycle is, but I don't think this was ever going to be like a lifetime moment. But I do think you can turn that into a positive of saying, like, how do you want to be remembered coming out of this as a coach?
Yeah.
Right? He's had a lot of stops. He's done some really good things, but could add on to himself by leaving here and leaving it better than he
Yeah,
found it.
like I don't like the sentiment of like, yeah, just like, oh, he's going to AC Milan. Oh, it's just like oh, he's trying, like, you don't think he's going all out trying to make this happen for the World Cup? Like, that's his job. That's everyone's watching. Like, why would he not want this
Yeah.
to be the best that it could be?
And
He's
I'm
been
like,
he's been a little sensitive with the media though. He has been a little
I don't blame him.
little sensitive, a little
Media can be annoying.
yeah.
I'm like, just let the man do his job for
Yeah.
the World Cup in a way. Like, just this happens with every single player, right? Like a player's playing for the national team, and then where's he gonna go next? Just let Pochettino do his job at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Let's focus on this now. In my opinion, sure, you gotta share the news. If like as a journalist and as a media, you have to share the news. But in a way, and also I think for the players as well, like sure they don't talk about it, mostly because they're focused on the World Cup now. I also don't think that they care.
Well, I think I also, by the way, think that the email or call thing was more controversial and more personal to me in terms of the way in
agree.
which it was handled than him having a potential. His agent's job is to find him jobs or at least create value in the marketplace. And sometimes, you're only worth what somebody's willing to give to you. And so if that's off to the side, and I don't think it's going to be a distraction. Having said that, U.S. doesn't get a result in the first one. And I also, by the way, the Senegal game, I think puts a lot of that stuff behind us because you saw an intensity and a collective nature that the group can tap into that I think puts a lot of those distractions to the side.
Yeah. I'm just hoping for him to like have an amazing World Cup, but then he
Yeah.
can stay again.
Yeah.
You know, like just let him do
Why
the
not?
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the fans, after the game, obviously, like, let's just say a Christian Roldan comes on and they're like, oh, why did they take it? Like, I feel like the fans maybe didn't forget about the roster thing, but I think all the players have like, we're locked in. Like that's the squad. We just need to get behind the boys. Stop complaining. All right. And people like bring up like it was just a friendly. Shut up. Because you were getting on our ass about Belgium and what was the other game? Portugal. Keep the same energy. All right, I'm getting off my soapbox. Next up, we have the Jermaine Jones interview. We have Hot and Cold, this is our new segment, and Heath is going to do a punishment coming up after this.
Dude, wake up.
Oh my gosh, Heath.
I think you were just asleep with your eyes open. Are you okay?
I'm sorry. There's just so much to prepare for. Now we have 48 teams and 104 matches. And I want to make sure I can bring my best for the show.
I feel like you've been on your game, but right now you seem a little out of sorts, if you don't mind me saying.
Thank you for mentioning that, but it's just like there's so much research to be done. What do you know about Congo's backline, or what about Curaçao's strikers? Heath, do you know even who the goalkeeper for Cape Verde is?
Duda, you're tired when you're hungry. Here.
Thank you. Yeah, much better, Heath. I just gotta set small, achievable goals, and we'll be good. Wait, I just remembered the goalkeeper's name. Thank you, Heath. Give me that football book over there. That one. Total football. Yep, that one. Thank you.
All right, so let's welcome our next guest. He's an absolute Bundesliga legend, a legend for our U.S. men's national team, Jermaine Jones. Jermaine, how we doing, man?
I'm doing fine. How you guys doing?
Doing good. We're doing good. Now, you've been through the cycle before, the lead-ups to World Cups, the importance of building that momentum into a tournament, and the U.S. roster is pretty thin in terms of that central midfield position. What do you think we need to be able to see from the midfield to be able to kind of get the performances that we need to really show ourselves here at home in the World Cup?
Yeah, you know what I think is it's one plus is that you play on a home turf, right? It's your home, and I think the fans are excited about this tournament. It's coming now. About the team, I think we all still wait for that explosion, because we all talked about this is a generation that's the best generation, a lot of talent. But so far is I think everybody is missing a little bit of that. Wow. You get always like I would say like pieces of it, sometimes from individual players, but as the group, I think it's so far. It would be surprising to see what they're doing in the World Cup, but it's nothing like where I look at it and be like, oh my God, that's like this excitement. There's something coming, and it's more like now you see even the boss of the federation, he steps away a couple weeks before the tournament starts. Like, it's all shows you that there's something on. Now the whole story comes out that the coach is talking with AC Milan, and it's so much going on behind it, where I'm thinking, is it maybe that complete opposite wow that we all hoped to get at the World Cup? Because when I look back, and I talked yesterday with somebody, Timmy Chandler, and we had a conversation about it, and we said, you remember that how excited it was when we came together in Stanford, and I know it was tough because Klinsmann was saying to some guys bye, and some guys got the yes, but still the excitement, the energy was going up from day to day till you figured out that you're going over there, and you felt like it was no side noise. It was no side noise. It was excited. Everybody was looking for this World Cup. And now I'm not so close anymore, but what I hear is like everybody's okay. What is coming? Like, what is really happening? So nobody's really excited about, oh, we playing a World Cup. It's more everybody's excited. Oh, we have a World Cup in the States.
To that point that you mentioned how there's a lot of noise around it in a way. When you played, you definitely played during a lot of pressure, right? There was always you used to play under pressure in a way. those moments that you mentioned where there's a lot of noise around you, how can a player deal with it, and how did you used to deal with it? That you think that the players are going to have to focus now during the World Cup here to not let that noise affect them in a way?
Yeah. I always say it pretty simple. That's the moments you dreamed of as a young boy, right? Like you dream to be at the World Cup in a big stage. You have a couple guys that play Champions League, they play in big clubs. In if you play, in these conditions where and I say it since I come back here to Germany, I see it when you play this promotion, relegation, and there's so much pressure under the teams who comes in if international spots in the league, and there's so much pressure. And I always said that we have to keep that high. And I'm surprised that even some of the guys that even make the roster, because I thought like, why? Because they're not played under the condition to where I said like they deserve it, kind of, But at the end, it's not surprising me. And that's why I said it to you before that I stepped a little bit more away from the whole thing, just to watch it from the far. And what I see is it's nothing that I'm be excited really about, because I don't think we should be so excited, because if you look at the past, that I believe that we made steps backwards.
Jermaine, you played with Christian early on, and he had a really good game on Sunday. I'm curious what you think about, like, what do we need from him, like the star player, to make a deep run, and what do you think about, like, what do we need from the supporting cast when he's not on his game?
Yeah, I said it a while ago that I had the chance to play with him when he was young, and he played with no fear. He was going out there, and you can see it still. Sometimes he gets that momentum, and I think it's sometimes too much pressure on one shoulders that he sometimes cannot deliver. But what is normal? He's human. So, and then yeah, you have Westerners. Sometimes he's then there and delivers. But then there's like some people when I look at one of the guys is Reina, where we all hope and say, oh, he has amazing talent, but so far he never delivered. Not at the national team, he never delivered at Gladbach, he never delivered at Dortmund, but he still is on the teams, and there's other guys where I thought like, oh, they deliver, they can be somebody like Christian was at our time when he came in and showed up but yeah, I think it would be surprising, I said, to see who are the guys who step up in come, but we clearly all know it would be a lot of pressure on Christian's shoulders. In if he has not the best days, it can really get bad for us.
Now, given this team's dynamic and attacking style, where do you think that you, at your prime, where would you think that you would fit into this team?
I think I will be somebody in the middle. I think this team has not. I would say Adams is somebody who has similar um, strength, I think, against the ball. But yeah, I will be somewhere in the middle. In how I think keep the young boys all together. In and I think that's sometimes maybe sometimes too what is missing in especially in big games. What I saw is that sometimes we're losing track and there's not one. It feels like sometimes, and I think he can say that too. Is like sometimes you have a team and sometimes you need that the bad boy, who maybe goes against everybody, but in a positive way because he maybe wants to win. And sometimes I feel like this team is a really young team, and they're all friends. If it seems like, oh, when we lose we go down and we go down, doesn't matter. If we play good, we play all good. So kind of, so, and that's why I say like it would be interesting to see. Now they're not anymore the youngs like it was in Qatar. Now they have to show up. Now they have to show. In I even say the group what we have is not like when you play against Turkey and stuff like that, where they're coming with big players too. We all know Turkey has a, a kind of like an edge on to their game, how they play in physical way, and so and it would be interesting to see if we can step it up, because I remember too when we went to Brazil and we had to play against Ghana, and we really had to figure out the first game to get into the game, because we knew with Ghana, then Germany, in Portugal, that would be, you need to start into the tournament good. And But again, the team what we had in 2014, I look at it always and say there was men, there was leaders all over the place.
Do you think that we have a bad boy now for the U.S. men's national team? We're still missing that man in a way.
I don't think that even people want the bad boy anymore. So they all want
Like the game or coaches, or what do you think?
I think, I don't think that people in general, the coaches, the even federation, people that they try to get only nice guys. Like, when I see guys, they're scream at people and go against people, that sometimes it's needed, But I think in general football, people go more and more away from that. And I think we don't have that. We I don't think that we have it. We have somebody, like I said, Adams is somebody who's a fighter who can run, who's good in the middle. Weston is somebody too, but I don't think that they have that edge to go against somebody. Like when I see our stories, I have the one story is like when we were in Brazil. And this was the kind of group we were. I remember when Josie and Clint were almost fighting each other, and Clint took off his shirt and wanted to fight Josie. But because why they did it? Because both of them, they're winners. They wanted to win, even in training. And so if somebody was not defending, they would go against each other. So, and I don't think something like that, I cannot put myself in there and say, oh, I can see that happen in this national team right now.
I remember so many training sessions against Clint where I almost wanted to fight with him because he trained in the way that he played and, would put an elbow into your chest just to create separation in training. And you're like, hey, we're teammates. But that mentality, I think, is really, really important. You live in Germany now. You played in the Bundesliga for a long time. You've got all the experience. Nobody knows about this German national team more than you do, especially knowing that you were with the German system for so long. And the results don't necessarily matter in the tune-up, or maybe they do. I would love your opinion on that. But when they go out against Germany, what should we expect? Because it truly is a big opponent before what will be a huge test in the World Cup.
Yeah. I think the good thing on that game is that both teams they're still looking to find each other, right? So Germany is not there yet, but of course they have big players and even young players. They're not that old, but still you can see too in the games it's similar to the US. When everything goes perfect, you can get from them 4-5, But that's not how the game is, especially not at the tournament. And it will be interesting to see now when they play against each other, because even I'll say this, the American team has some talent. Of course, the German team has some talent. Then you have to look, okay, who gets most time in the teams, because it doesn't matter if you play a big teams, but you never get time. So you have to play, and that's the most important. But the German team now, when they played against Finland, you were able to see even there was a lot of players not even still there. Havertz was not there because he was just playing the Champions League. Manuel Neuer was not playing because he had a little bit something on his calf. Like, you were able to see there's some of the guys not playing and they're still trying to figure out their rhythm. But Germany been always a tournament team, so they somehow they find a rhythm into the tournament, and then they keep running. So then they keep going. And I hope that that's something what we can hope and pray that that's something what the US gets, that they get in with the fans, and they hear the cheering and all that stuff. So and maybe get that momentum too, and then we will see.
All right, let's talk about this Germany national team just a little bit more, because since obviously winning in Brazil in 2014 and also beating Brazil 7-1, but we don't have to talk about that, they have not made it out of the group stage the past two World Cups. What do you think about this current Germany national team, and what do you think that Julian Nagelsmann really have to focus on to get this team going?
He always talks about that. He knows that the group has a lot of talent. He knows that, and he says it always that you have the main core of people. They're all from Bayern Munich, so that's normally always simple then, because they already have a rhythm. They know how to play. They know how to, to keep everybody floated. I think now with the big switch, there was a little bit of confusion, a little bit back and forth with Neuer coming now in last minute. But I think that's gone because Baumann, the second goalkeeper, he clearly said, look, I don't care if I'm number 1 or number 2. I want to represent this country. I want to be there. It's a pleasure for me to stand behind Manuel Neuer. So, yeah, I think then when you look at, that's why I said, like, if you look at even somebody like Karl, who comes from Bayern Munich, who's a young boy, but against Finland, he was one of the best players. I think it was him and Brown from Eintracht Frankfurt. I think they had the best game. In when you look at the game, you will say like, oh wow, crazy, because they will not start if you go to the World Cup. But because you have Sané, you have Wirtz played, then you had Musala, but you had there's so many guys now coming in, and I think it's like for them it's just like they know the quality they have, and they just, like I said before, Germany been always a tournament team, and they know they have to get into the first game, and when they get that rolling, then it will go good. If it like I think the problem was the last tournaments and the last stuff was that switch from the heroes going to something new. It took time. Then it took time to take some of the guys out too, and trust you in that self as a federation to say that's the legends, but we have to take them out because it's time to go and move on. Then you have to find the right pieces, and I think that all took time. But I think now they've found something. But I think the other part is too, they're Germany. So you going into the tournament and people say you have to be with Brazil, Argentina, France. You have to be up there. You have to maybe win it. So that will be, we will see if that works.
Finish this sentence, okay? The World Cup is a success for the U.S. if
They get out of the group stage.
Think so? That's as far as they have to go for success, or that's what you think is a barrier of success for this group?
Yeah, because I think if they get out of the group stage, after that, then it's done anyways. I think. So if you come out of group stage, you can say, okay, because I think too, what I said before, against Turkey, I don't think it's an easy game. So if you go just through the group stage, you see the teams and they look, maybe you go, oh, okay, Australia, oh, okay. They're not easy games. So, and you're going to have to get out of there and then go into the next round. With all the games we saw so far, it's not like, and I think you guys the same way. Like if I look back, there's not a excitement where I say like, oh my God, we destroyed everybody. Like, let's be honest, like, are we making the World Cup if we not qualified already because we hosting? That's a question too, So
I mean, 48 teams, I hope so. I hope so with 48 teams
Yeah.
that we can qualify.
Yeah, but if you look at, like, when I look at the other side, right, like with Canada, Panama, all the other teams, they're getting better and better and better. And I was there watching a couple games before that, and I said, wow, like, where is this that even Canada, they just passed us if you really look at it, So, and nobody was screaming about, nobody said something. Everybody's like, oh yeah, we will come, we will come, we will come. So, and now it's where's the big games we had where we had really good games before this World Cup? All the big games we not played good. So we played good against the teams we have to play good. So now Germany is a big one now where you can say, okay, last big shot where you can see what comes out. But then, it's the big World Cup, and we know that. Like, it can be something where you get flying because the fans behind you, or the pressure and everything because you're losing the first game, and then it's pressure on it. You have to win the next game. So we will see.
Jermaine, one last question for you before we go, let you go. There's a lot of conversation, obviously, for this group about suffering, right? And you know what it's like on the field in big games of willingness to suffer through long periods to get results that's not going to be pretty. Do you think this group has the ability to suffer in periods where they don't have the ball, they have to grind, they have to be, they have to fight and do all the dirty work that maybe isn't the way in which a lot of these guys are maybe playing at their club level?
Oh, I always say that. Like, if you play in the World Cup and you're not ready to suffer, you're not ready to run, and put everything on the field, then you're on the wrong sport, because especially like if you represent your country, I said that always. Like, then there's no excuse to be, oh, I don't want to suffer in games, like at the end almost every game you have to suffer. Every game you should go to the maximum of what you can do, because at least you put everything on the field. It doesn't matter if you win every game, this is normal in soccer that you lose and win. But at least you should be like that. People look from outside and say, you know what? They put everything down. And I said that like a teammate for me with Kyle Beckerman, right? When you look at him, everybody was against him when he came to the World Cup, back in 2014. But that was somebody, he was ready to suffer. Every game he was stepping up, and that's something I wish and I hope that these guys will, stop doing all the Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff and focus on suffering on the field and get it done for this country, because it's at the end, whatever they achieve in this tournament, that helps the country grow in football.
We appreciate that, Jermaine. Obviously, and we appreciate your time. Jermaine Jones jumping on the show to chat with us. Ich vermisse dich. Ich habe schon lange kein Deutsch gesprochen. So we appreciate you hanging out with us, and obviously we got to catch up soon, man.
It is now time for a new segment called Hot or Cold, where, gentlemen, we're going to hear a statement and we're going to hold up the emoji whether we agree with it, hot take, or we don't agree with, cold take. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Pep Guardiola will be the next U.S. manager.
Oh, you agree with?
100%. Look, I think Pep wants a new challenge. He just left City. Pochettino going to Milan. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think after this World Cup, we're going to see Pep come in and take over the national team, and then we're going to win the World Cup for the second time.
Oh my God. Okay, Heath, you said it.
What's
You
funny
agree
is
with me.
Adi posted this on social, and he talked about like the job opening up or Pep leaving the job at Man City, and I thought that he was talking about Pochettino, and I just think it's unrealistic. I think Pep has a level of comfort. It's the same reason we thought like Jose Mourinho at one point, but like I wouldn't say comfort because his job is very, very hard, but like I don't know if we're there yet to entice him. I think there's a way to get him the money that he makes in the same way that we did to get Poch in with the national team. But I think it's one step too far for now. Maybe one more job for Pep. Maybe he doesn't win nearly as much, and then this job becomes really attractive. But I think it could be a fun project for him. Very different, though.
Okay. I said also a cold take because Pochettino is going to win the World Cup and he's going to stay one more year.
Yeah.
Next statement.
I like that.
The English national team only selling 13,000 tickets for a pre-World Cup friendly in Tampa is no big deal.
3, 2, 1, go.
It's no big deal.
Wait, no big deal. I think it's not a big deal. So is that higher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
All right, I'll jump in on this one
Everyone
first.
took a hot take now.
Hot take,
Go
yeah.
on.
I mean, as an Irish person, we say anyone but England, right? But like the second thing is I think I'm not sure what the tickets were or are. I don't know the price of those types of things. But I think that if you are involved in the World Cup, you are forced at this point to put all your eggs in the basket of like, anything World Cup related in terms of games, right? It is very expensive. If you don't have tickets, this is probably still too expensive. But I think you would think that they would sell out everywhere that they go. Having said that, like U.S. attendance,
amazing.
Senegal was amazing. I was waiting in the beginning for them to like pan up, where I could be like, I told you the fans wouldn't show up for how expensive the tickets are. But people are hyped for the U.S. But England, I don't know, not so much. Is it a location thing?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Tampa. Like I don't even think
There's a lot of expats
in there
sunbathing in Tampa, right? Go to a game.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the World Cup yet. Sure, like it's the friendly, but it's like you said, living nowadays, it is expensive. They're not going to use their money to go to a friendly if you can afford. You're going to, like you said,
everything on the World
spend
Cup.
everything during the World Cup.
Who do they play?
If you want everyone to show up more, just make the tickets cheap,
Yeah.
Christian Volpato switching from Italy to Australia to play in this World Cup should not be allowed.
Should not be allowed. Cold. I think that's a smart man. If I was Italian, I'd be an Aussie real quick to do
Aussie.
Yeah, I'm out there. I'm trying to play some games, man.
Poor Italian man. No, I feel like sure he played at the youth level, but he never got a call up. He never played for the senior national team for Italy. So as long as you don't do that, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I think national identity is very complex for a lot of people. It becomes less complex when one of those teams is ruled out, or that you're not going to make it on that team. And so I think it's a good opportunity, and like obviously the rules are what they are, and if you can find that loophole and get yourself to a World Cup, and who knows what kind of springboard it could be for you, I think it's amazing. So good on you.
Good for him.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah.
Smart.
Good on you, mate. Good on you.
The new delay of game rule for goal kicks turning into corners will yield a controversial and significant goal.
You don't think so?
No.
First of all,
That's why
First
we
of all-
you don't have
First
to
of
ask. We
all-
put this up.
First of all, trying to understand here because that does not make sense to me. First of all, the rules are just extremely controversial to me. I don't agree with the rule change. It's truly insane. And
Such a Brazilian, huh?
And so you're thinking that-
slowing the game down.
Of course, but that's
rolling
part of the
around,
game. How do you-
but you don't care
wasting
about the
my
laptops?
national
that
team's
is
time
part
and a chance
of the
to
game.
score.
That is part of the game. And I want to see if you're going to still think the same thing if that happens to the U.S. at a corner kick
wouldn't.
because of that.
It just wouldn't.
We're not
No.
getting scored on.
Yeah, we're
no, but if it did, I know I'm gonna be so pissed. It's
Yes,
the freaking
and
rule
you're gonna
change.
think about
but,
this.
Yeah.
But
You
I,
didn't even think about you.
but I don't think it's controversial because you might not like that they added it. I don't know if I like it either, but it is there, and if they score on it, is that controversial? I'm like,
What I would say is
that's what we.
to me,
that's
no
what we
matter
got.
if I like it
It
or
is
not,
what it
to
is.
me will always be a controversial because you're scoring off a corner kick
That was gifted to you?
that was gifted to you because the goalkeeper took longer. I wouldn't like to win it like that. Actually, I would like to win it anyway.
Yeah.
Forget
Yeah.
that. But
It's all about who's playing.
but I think that is controversial.
Yeah.
I understand.
I mean, what I would say is that one, you've got the best referees in the world that are going to be in this, right? There's going to be a feel. There's going to have to be a feel. It's not just going to be like, oh, you should have been counting in your head Mississippi's, like
Yeah.
it's but you're going to get some warnings. And if it's repeat offenses, which we see happen, especially if a team gets a couple goal lead and they're trying to slow, like if anybody's trying to slow a game down from the early starts, it speeds things up and forces some accountability and creates some sort of punishment for not doing that. And I think it's going to have to be extreme cases. And if it leads to the U.S. getting a corner kick and a goal off the head from Weston McKennie at the near post because Turkey decided to sit on it too long, then
I kind of might change my answer. I
You see?
kind of hate it.
Why?
But I still am like, the rule is the rule, like if that's the rule, but I kind of don't like it actually.
Yeah, but then
just
there's like the 5-second rule, and then it's supposed to be like a free kick, indirect free kick for like these things. Like the refs have to have some sort of feel of the game for this,
Yeah.
right? And
Sure.
like you can generally you can see the offenses they're looking for is that like if something's happening with action, you're fine. But if they're not, then it needs to be addressed. Otherwise, you allow.
Maybe I'll swing back the other way.
I don't know if I should save. I was gonna
My
save.
man.
I was gonna save my hot take for the end, but I'm just gonna give a little bit of what I'm gonna say during my hot take
all right.
because you mentioned the referees, and I think that if we really, 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 really had great refereeing, we wouldn't need this kind of rules.
Oh, it's
because,
coming. It's
because
coming.
they were gonna force it.
And it's
Because it's
and it's electronic.
because
Yeah.
if they actually enforce the seconds, the players wasting their time, the players taking 30 seconds to leave the pitch for a substitution, give them a yellow card. If you're really that great, give them a yellow card and see if they do it again. We wouldn't need that rules, in my opinion. We wouldn't need this kind of rules if they actually were enforcing that.
So you're saying instead of the corner kick or whatever, just give him a yellow card.
For the goalkeeper,
Or like
for sure.
instead of like resulting to like,
Yes.
let's do it as a corner kick.
If you see the goalkeeper is taking, 20 seconds, 15 seconds to take, he knows the referee's counting.
You're
His hand
saying
is
20, you're saying 15. How many seconds?
No, I'm
now you're
saying-
creating a lot of confusion for
No.
that goalkeeper. He's got to figure
Where
it
am
out.
I? I'm still lost.
yeah.
up. No. I'm saying the referee has his arm up. He's counting down the second. The goalkeeper knows that. The goalkeeper is a professional athlete. He knows that's the rule. If he's not following that countdown, referee, give him the yellow card. See if he does it again. If he does it again, give him a warning. If you do it again, it's another yellow.
Yeah.
If he does it again, it's a red card.
I
Done.
think I'm swayed back.
All right. Next one.
Neymar's injury is actually a blessing for Brazil.
Why not?
Wait, I'm saying it's not a blessing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Neymar. I'm pissed. And I think that's a guy Brazil would want on the field. I think so. I think he can create. I think he makes them look cooler. And that's very important.
So mostly because you want him to be on the field.
I do like that
Pretty
most of your
much. And
takes
I think
are
I
very
speak for
personal.
Brazil.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. I do like most of your takes have a personal element to them. Just like, I don't know, I just really like him.
Yeah.
You know, like it.
No, but honestly, like, I think he will help. Like, I don't know if he's starting and he's going to help but like coming off, you guys think like him not being there is just way better?
No, I think
not being able to
I
play?
think him having an injury pushes him further back from anybody's expectation that he's going to play.
Oh.
Or play, be a contributor into this team, which I think takes the pressure off of if the team does well and Neymar doesn't play, then it's fine. But if they're not doing well, and then there's a temptation to play Neymar, who I think is for a long time not been really anywhere close to the old Neymar that we know, it just makes it easier, makes it cleaner for the Brazilians to just enjoy themselves and not think like if only Neymar.
I just feel like they won't enjoy themselves regardless if it doesn't go well.
No, and
You tell me.
I'm with Heath as well, because let's remember, like, obviously he's injured. He cannot not play the first game, and I also think that if he was not injured, he would also not start the first match at the World Cup for Brazil. This squad now, this roster that we have for Brazil, they have been playing together since Ancelotti joined Brazil without Neymar. He never called Neymar up when he was for Brazil. This was the first time that Neymar got the call up for the national team with Ancelotti in a way. So the team already has the chemistry. Sure, we love Neymar. We want to see him on the pitch when he's ready, when he's 100%, when he can actually add to it. And I also think that gets the pressure. He gets the pressure off his shoulder as well of like performing. Why do you look at me like that?
I just feel like you're trying to appease Adi, who really likes Neymar. And like, he's just got to make peace with Neymar. It just doesn't have it anymore.
Neymar not having it is better than a lot of the players who have it for their level. So
I'll bring a Neymar jersey for next one. Fix that one.
All right.
Very sick.
I'll wear that.
All right, guys, time for stoppage time. You know how this goes. 45 seconds. You get the soapbox. You get to rant about anything you want, but you've only got 45 seconds, so I hope you rehearsed it.
I did.
All of us were right at that time limit. So you can say anything that you want, but we're going to start with you, Adi.
Okay.
You get 45 seconds to go, and you got to go direct to camera, address the people.
Oh, I
sell
will.
with passion.
Oh, yeah. People, let's talk about it. I feel like I'm not behind the Shakira World Cup song. I feel like we just keep chasing a Waka Waka. And I think we've passed the Waka Waka. All right, it happened. Let's stop chasing a formula. This is like Shakira and the World Cup songs to me is like Fast and Furious, how we're on the 10th movie and it's just, what are we doing continuing with this formula? It's just, we could see it. We're chasing too much. And look, I respect Shakira. I love Shakira, but I think I'm not behind this. I'm not behind it.
All right, so here's my hot take on all of this. Fast and the Furious series is one of the greatest series of all times. Okay, we're gonna start wrapping up the show slow chanting family, family, family. No, I mean, but my real hot take is that I think these games are going on way too long. There's too much stoppage time. Now there's more breaks. I get it for weather and whatever, but like the players should just start wearing those like camel pack things or camelback things and just, drinking hydration and food while they go. That's no problem for me. But like, we got to cut these shorter. I don't have that much time. I got a young family at home. I got all kinds of things to do. Let's go back to 90 minutes, maybe 1 minute of stoppage, and then we'll call it a day.
That was a grown man answer because I'm over here with all the time in the world.
Make the games longer.
Yeah, let's keep
That's
it
gonna be
going.
your hot
Yeah.
take next week. I'd say we add
Let's
time to
add
the game.
another stop. There's 2 hydration breaks per half.
The new rules implemented for this World Cup are a way to fix bad refereeing. Don't tell me if the goalkeeper takes more than 8 seconds now to take a kick, it's going to be a corner. Are you serious? Like, this is not football to me. This is not soccer to me. This is not the game. if you really want them to, follow the rules, give them a yellow card. Be a good referee. Say, hey, next time you do that, don't play it around. I'm giving you another yellow. And then actually give the other yellow. And then it's a red. And also, if another one, which is insane to me, if the player gets medical help, he needs to step away for 1 minute off the pitch. This is not Rocky. This is football. I'm annoyed.
It's a minute minimum. They have to be off.
Yeah.
Is that what the rules?
Sorry, I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
Is that
I'm
going
gonna
to
start planting Fast and the Furious one-liners in every episode from here on out.
Did you watch all 10?
Yeah, you still
Did you
owe me
watch
a,
all
you
10?
still owe me a 10-second car.
Did you watch all 10?
All of them.
And you love
The
them all?
greatest-
You're like,
the
oh my God,
greatest-
another one? Let's
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah. Like, yeah. The best ever.
So in episode 2, Heath said that because he took my line, he's going to do a punishment from one of the comments, from someone who commented. And so from at Mr. Rob 2084, not to be confused, says Heath must eat a hot wing of death. The whole thing. So, dude, oh, we got him ranch. We're letting him off easy.
I'm not
I'm
giving
kidding. I'm
him
kidding.
ranch.
And blue cheese.
I'm kidding. And blue cheese. So Duda is going to hand him this hot wing of death.
Oh my God, dude.
How do you do it? How are you with spicy?
We're about to find out. We're about to find out.
I can feel it in my throat just by sniffing it.
Really?
It is.
It is the hottest level
I was
that they make.
wondering what that smell was in here about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And
Do we have some
Which one
water
is it?
or milk? He might need it.
No, we have blue cheese. If he gets hot, you can drink the blue cheese. This is what
Take a
you
peek.
get. Do not steal my line. No, actually, I will say this, Heath. I do respect you for
burning my eyebrows
yeah.
right now.
I respect you for having so much
All right, we got you a water.
respect to do this.
That one's blue cheese. I don't want that one. That one you can have blue cheese with that.
Alright.
Yours. What do you want,
Heath.
ranch or blue cheese with yours?
Ranch for sure. Oh, actually, let me see how you are, and then maybe I'll join you.
Dude.
What
I
kind of
don't-
level is this?
I'm just
like
not
the
used
highest
to-
level of
Like my
Holy
throat's
shit.
closing.
atomic. Okay, Heath
Atomic.
is gonna try the atomic wings right now.
Look at the color of that. That's not a.
Yummy.
That's like.
Do you like spicy things?
I was just trying to be a good guy. I didn't even actually have to do a
He wa-
punishment. I'd be like, oh, it was an accident.
Yeah, he wanted
and-
the. Oh my God! I
You like
actually
your
just got
spicy
like
things?
a whiff of it.
Yeah, I like spicy things, but
Amazing.
like this isn't spicy.
Atomic
This is
spice.
punishment.
This is
What is-
atomic.
And I love also how we got like 10 of them.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, we're going for it.
Mr. Rob, thank you.
I'm trying to not let it hit my lips. because
Just put the wing in your eye.
I'm afraid for him.
It'll be
Mom
alright.
is just like delayed, and I can feel it coming.
Remember when you talked about suffering with Jermaine Jones?
My eyes are a little flush. I can feel. It's actually not that bad. Punishment. Thanks for lunch.
Wait, there's no way.
Yeah, it's not bad. You want to try one?
I'm absolutely not.
I will.
You don't like spicy?
Yeah. I started doing this thing when I go to sushi. I like take a chopstick and I get like a huge
What's up?
thing of wasabi, and I'm just trying them all out at all the restaurants, and it hits pretty crazy.
Are you really not feeling anything?
No, I am, but I think I'm gonna try one that's down at the bottom with all that sauce. That's the ones that I think are gonna hurt.
You guys should cheers.
Someone should have shook this thing up. You want one?
I'll do it.
It's actually pretty good.
I'm not great with spice. I'm not gonna lie.
Not?
No,
I am
really.
not
be
great with
spicy for you
spicy
then.
either.
I'm pretty.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me one.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Peer pressure is the thing.
Take one from the bottom.
Absolutely. No, this is already too much. Wait,
It's got an intimidating color. I'm not gonna lie.
Cheers.
you actually take this like a champ.
Yeah. I was hungry anyway.
I cannot do a spice.
Mm-hmm.
While you're eating, say goodbye.
Oh,
Spicy?
it's coming up.
How we doing? Don't let it hit your lips. It's starting to hit my lips. Now it's getting hot. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and join us on the next episode of Supporter Section. We'll see you guys soon.
I feel it.